There's a quiet truth that often goes unnoticed. When someone is weighed down by depression, the world assumes they are clouded, irrational, lost in a fog of feelings. But if you listen closely, if you sit with them in their silence, you may find something unexpected. A sharpness of thought, a clarity that cuts through illusions. Depression has a way of stripping life down to its bare bones. The comforting stories we tell ourselves, about endless possibilities, about everything working out in the end, those stories can fall away. What remains is often the raw structure of reality, unsoftened by hope, unpainted by optimism. And in that stripped down space, logic thrives. It's not that depressed people lack imagination. It's that their imagination is tethered to the weight of truth. They see the cracks in the system, the flaws in the plan, the fragility of human promises. While others may float on the surface of easy reassurance, they are diving deep, questioning, analyzing, noticing the details that most prefer to ignore. Think about it. When you've been forced to confront pain, you learn to measure carefully. You learn to test assumptions, to doubt easy answers, to demand evidence before belief. This is not cynicism for its own sake. It is survival. Depression teaches a kind of mental discipline, a refusal to be fooled by comforting lies. Of course, this clarity comes at a cost. To see the world without its soft edges can be exhausting. To recognize the limits of human control, the inevitability of loss, the fragility of joy, these truths can feel unbearable when carried alone. Logic, in this sense, is both a gift and a burden. It sharpens the mind, but it can also weigh down the heart. And yet, there is something profoundly human in this paradox. The very people who feel broken by their sadness are often the ones who can see the world most clearly. They remind us that optimism is not the only lens worth looking through. Sometimes, the most honest perspective is the one that acknowledges the shadows as well as the light. If you've ever felt this way, if you've ever been told you was too negative or too realistic, know that your clarity is not a flaw. It is a form of wisdom. It is the mind's way of honoring truth, even when truth is heavy. And while it may not always feel like a gift, it can be a source of strength, a foundation for resilience, a reminder that honesty has its own kind of beauty. The challenge, perhaps, is balance. To hold on to logic without letting it harden into despair. To see the cracks in the world, but also to notice the light that filters through them. To allow yourself the honesty of realism, while still leaving space for moments of wonder, connection, and unexpected joy. Because life is not only about what is broken, it is also about what endures. And sometimes, the most logical thing we can do is to keep going, to keep searching, to keep allowing ourselves to be surprised by the small, stubborn sparks of meaning that appear in the dark. So if you've ever felt the weight of this kind of clarity, I invite you to reflect. How has your logic shaped the way you see the world? Has it protected you, challenged you, or maybe even guided you toward a deeper kind of truth? Share your thoughts if you feel called to. Your perspective might be the very insight someone else needs to hear.